Welcome at the homework of lesson 6. This was question 1, sketch given to you. Let's start filling in the table immediately, where I do know that this must be statement, and here reason. If I start looking at my diagram now, I can clearly see triangle on the right, that the exterior angle equals to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So I'm going to make the statement by saying that angle D1 equals to angle A2 plus angle C. And my reason for that, of course, exterior angle of a triangle. If I do the substitution now, I'm going to have 120 degrees equals to angle A2, which is equivalent given to me as Y, plus angle C to be 30 degrees. Take the 30 degrees then to the left hand side, so I'm going to see 120 degrees minus the 30 degrees equal to be Y. So therefore the value of Y going to give me an answer of 90 degrees. And as soon as I have the answer, what do? I take my pencil and I keep my sketch up to date. So that angle there equals to be 30 degrees in case I may need it at a later stage. If I look now at X, that's the triangle on the left hand side, triangle ABD. So I'm going to look at that one where I'm going to say now that angle A 1 plus angle B plus angle D must be then equals to be 180 degrees, and the reason, the sum of the angles interior of a triangle equals to be 180 degrees. Angle A1 given to me to be 10 degrees plus angle B is the one I need to determine also, X, plus D given to be 120 degrees equal to be 180. On the left, 10 plus 120, so I'm going to have X plus, and that's going to give me a value of 130 degrees equal to be 180. If I take the 130 across to the right hand side, it means it's going to become a minus. So therefore X, we're going to have 180 minus 130, going to leave us with the answer of 50 degrees for the value of X. And there I have determined my two values as requested from me, namely X and Y. Question number 2. Let's start again immediately. Statement. And my reason. So therefore, if I look at the triangle, immediately I see that the three interior angles, the sum of the three interior angles, one of the properties of a triangle must be then equals to be 180 degrees. So I'm going to go immediately by saying angle A plus angle B plus angle C must be equal to be 180 180 degrees. And here the reason. Sum of the angles interior of a triangle equal to be 180 degrees. I'll do my substitution now. Angle A to be 35 degrees plus angle B, which is x plus 10 degrees. Angle C given to me to be 70 degrees, and all that equal to be 180 degrees. So therefore on the left, if I add the 35 plus the 10 and the 70, I'm going to end up something like 115 degrees plus the x equals to be 180 degrees. Then I'm taking the 115 to the right hand side, so I'm going to have x equal to be 180 degrees minus, and then I have to be very careful, 115 degrees. So I'm going to have an answer of x, leaving me with a value then of 65 degrees as requested in determine that answer. Homework question number 3. If I look at this triangle once again, I see that the three interior angles, the sum of them equals to 180 degrees, one of the properties of the triangle again. So let's quickly write again statement and reason. So therefore, angle A plus angle B plus angle C must be then equal to 180 degrees. The sum of the angles interior of a triangle equals to 180 degrees. I think you start to see the interior angles already of the triangle. So I'm substituting. So angle A to be 60 degrees plus B to be 50 degrees plus C, the determinant that I need to determine, y equals to be 180 degrees. Therefore I'm going to have on the left hand side 110 degrees plus y equals to be 180 degrees. Take the 110 to the right hand side, I'm going to have y equals to be 180 degrees minus 110 degrees. So therefore y leaves me with the answer to be 70 degrees. Question number 4. If I look at this one, I can clearly see that I'm working here with an isosceles triangle. So if I just quickly play on this one, let's play. So therefore I do know that the base areas, angles opposite the same sides, must be equal. So therefore that one then there also got to be y. So let's quickly put it down. Statement and reason. By this information that I do have on the sketch now, I can say now that angle A plus angle B plus angle C must be then equal to be 180 degrees. But I'm going to make the statement where I'm going to say but angle B must be equal to angle C. And the reason again for that is angles opposite. Opposite what? Opposite the sides. And they must be then equal opposite the sides. for the isosceles triangle. Therefore, I'm going to substitute it now, and I can also say that that's equal to be y. I can substitute it immediately. So in the place of a, it is going to become 80 degrees. And then in the place of b, I'm going to write it then to be y plus. And then again, remember that the base angles are the same, also then to be angle C to be y equals to be 180 degrees. Wow, let me just make that quickly 180 degrees. Right, so therefore I'm going to be left here with 80 degrees plus 2y equals to be 180 degrees. Take the 80 degrees across to the right hand side. I'm going to have 2y equals to be 180 degrees minus the 80. So therefore I'm going to have 2y equals to be 100 degrees. And then I know the story again. Divide on the left with a 2. Divide on the right with a 2. So therefore my answer y going to give me a result then of 50 degrees in that particular case. So there I have angle B, angle C, y equals to be 50 degrees. Question number 5. Let's start immediately by quickly filling in the table so that we can continue with the calculation. Statement. Reason. Just by the looks of it, immediately I see that that angle to be 90 degrees. Therefore, it means that I'm talking about here about a right angle triangle. But one of the properties again here is that all the interior, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal to be 180 degrees. So I'm going to start with the statement. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C equal to be 180 degrees. Once again, the sum of the angles interior of a triangle equal to be 180 degrees. Therefore, if I substitute angle A to be x plus angle B, remember that's symbol refer to 90 degrees, right angle triangle, plus angle C, namely to be 2x, equal to be 180 degrees. So therefore I'm going to add now here, remember in front of that x, strictly speaking, hidden information, a 1. So 1x plus 2x going to leave me then with a value, namely 3x. At the same time, I'm going to take the 90 degrees to the right hand side. So I'm going to have 180 degrees minus the 90 degrees. So therefore I'm going to have on the left 3x, on the right 180 minus 90 is going to give me 90 degrees. Then if I grab my pencil quickly again, I see on the left divide by 3 so that it can cancel, and then I know what I do on the left I must then also do on the right. So therefore I'm going to have an answer of x, and 90 divided by 3 is going to leave me with the answer, namely 30 degrees. So therefore I have the answer x which I needed to solve. The last question for homework. Now guys, let's first look at this triangle. What I would like to look at, I see first that information, that information. This means that triangle A, B, C must be an isosceles triangle. And what do I know about the base angles? Where we're going to say angles opposite equal sides. So therefore I must say that that base angle also got to be 50 degrees. And just by saying that, I already got one of the answers. Then secondly, perhaps, if I'm going to look at the right triangle ADC. It means the 90 plus the 50 going to leave me with 140. The total inside must be 180. That leaves me with the answer that y to be something like 40 degrees. Now guys, I first took my pencil and I've played with it. I got familiar with my sketch. Now it's much easier to go and do the calculation. So I'm going to start by saying statement. Reason. Where have I started? I've started with a triangle ABC. So I'm going to start immediately by making the statement here, where I'm going to say that but angle B must be equal to angle C must be equal to X must be equal to 50 degrees. And my reason for that again is, remember, the isosceles triangles. Angles. Opposite. Opposite what? Opposite the sides of the isosceles triangle. And they got to be the same. They are equal angles in that particular case then. So there I've made a huge statement down there. And I got that answer and I rule it off. That was a fast one if I have realized the information about isosceles triangle. Now on the right triangle, where I'm going to refer now that angle A, and it's not just angle A, it's angle A2 plus angle D2. I have to specify exactly what angle I'm working with, plus angle C equals to be 180 degrees. The sum of the angles interior of a triangle equals to be 180 degrees. If I do my substitution now, A2, angle A2 is Y, plus D2 is that symbol presenting 90 degrees, plus the angle C, which is X, previously determined to be 50 degrees. Altogether equals to 180 degrees. So therefore Y plus 140 degrees equals to be 180 degrees. Take the 140 to the right hand side. Y going to become 180 degrees minus 140 degrees. That leaves me with Y to be equal to 40 degrees. And guys, if we start playing on the sketch and we first get familiar, take a pencil, have fun on the sketch, then this calculation is really not that difficult. It really becomes much easier. In the next lesson, I'm going to give you a little bit more challenging questions, the sketch with a little bit more detailed information into it, that we really have to play more on the sketch. I think you understand the rules of this triangles now. So till the next lesson homework I'm going to ask you, guys, have fun and enjoy. See you later.